this and into the ski shop and see what we got going on today, and that's what it's going to cost you to rent a locker here. Well, there's really no lockers in here. This is just ski memorabilia. Well, let's go on in and see what's going on today in the ski shop. Well, probably all seen this before, but yeah, we got a few skis in here for real. Oh, this is really cool. This is an old reproduction poster. Sister. I have a hard time pronouncing these things. Now, this is not the. This is the B cam. It doesn't have the wide angle lens, so pretty hard to catch. To get the full view with this camera because the lens is really small. But Mario Pupo, Mario Pupo, Mario Pupo. So he made this poster. It's a reproduction, but he made it in 35. And so there's what your skiers look like in 35. Anyway, and don't forget, there's always snow in Stowe. Okay, so let's get off the baloney. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to break down a structure, a stone ground structure. Oh, hey, I'd rather be skiing. And there's the little guy there. I'd rather be skiing. And we got another female up here. She'd probably rather be skiing too. She kind of, she's movable, man. Look at that. She's skiing, man. She's skiing. She's skiing. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. So anyway, recently I don't normally stone grind skis, but when I get something that's too concave, you can't really scrape out concavities, and I was having a hard time with these ones because there was just some stripes in the base. Like, let's say, like, when I say stripes, I mean like coming this way, up and down the ski, that were much harder than the other parts of the base, and that can happen sometimes, in the process. So part of the base was much harder than the other part, and I was having a hard time getting these flat. So the other factor was that I wanted a ski specifically ground for spring. Now the hand structures I make are really good, and they run really good in most snow conditions. But when you get to the super wet snow, they may not be, quite as bitchin' as these engineered structures. So I had one pair done for my wife, and anyway, they came out great, and she's happy with them. And then I took these ones in that I paid $40 for these skis, and I told the guy, I said, Eric down at the race place, I said, I want to go a little bit more aggressive on these ones. Can you do that? And he said, sure, yeah, I can do that. And then when I picked these up, he goes, well, I got to tell you, this is as deep as I would go. I would not go more aggressive than this. And I said, cool, well, let's give them a try. Because I know if they're too aggressive, what I'm going to do. So one way that you kind of check this out, focus, 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 focus. This is hard, okay? So anyway, what you do, if we can get some focus here, is you can run your fingernail across the ski this way. Now I can feel it. I mean, I can really feel that under my nail. And as I, let's try a different angle here. This is all handheld. So as I drag my nail across the ski. Listen, let's see if we can. Oh, I got a fan on. Hang on. Let's turn the fan off. Okay, that's totally. But let's try this and see if the mic will pick this up as we drag our nail across the structure. Hear that? So anyway, it's super peaky, and it's super deep. Now, it running really good on the wet snow, but she's a little bit grabby, or its lack of ability to stivot or pivot. If you can slide it and hockey stop it, but it's a little more difficult and to do for sure. And so what I'm going to do is show you what you do when, and you know, this can happen even if you don't want it. When you go get a ski ground, this can happen. You can end up with a structure that's a little bit overly peaky and the valleys are a little bit too deep. So what I'm going to do, and anytime you regrind a ski, a lot of times it does take a lot of work to get it up to speed. So what we want to do is sort of take the peaks down. Okay, we're going to take the peaks down and we're going to brush it hard and we're going to sort of mellow out those valleys. But before I do that, I am going to go ahead and work on these base bevels some more and polish those down with some stones and you know, just work them down even a little bit harder. And one thing about these skis, I bought these used for 40 bucks, and what I found when I skied them was they made a right turn like, you know, one way and a left turn another way. And each of the skis, like, okay, on this side was beveled a lot, but this side was not beveled as much at all. And it was the same thing on the other ski. This side right here was not beveled much, but this side over here was beveled a lot. So it wasn't like an inside-outside ski on a thing where people, you know, that run a right ski, left ski, and always are religious to that. I rotate my skis all the time to keep the wear even. But so anyway, I didn't have them grind them to absolute flat. I said just get the structure in them and I'll redo the base bevels. So when I got them back, there was still a stronger bevel on this side of both of the skis. Okay, so I skied them once. I didn't want to overdo it, and I did come back with the file and do this edge. But anyway, they're still a little bit strange. So, but before I go to work on these, I'm going to do that. But I'm not going to show you that. So, but anyway, we'll be back, and I'll stick the camera on the tripod and, well, kind of try to show you what I'm going to do to mellow out this grind and get these skis to be a little more playful, but still run like a son of a gun in the wet. Stand by. Okay, so what I did here, like I told you, on both skis, this side was not beveled nearly as much as this side of the ski. Now this side, I took a 100 and a 200 diamond stone and I went to just touch this side and it like didn't even do anything. On this side I was definitely getting some action, so I worked it really good with a 100 and a 200 diamond stone. Now you may or may not be able to see on the camera because I've just got this thing on the tripod where the edge of the ski and the Ptex where it's a little different color. So I got a fairly long bevel in there for sure. And that's going to give me some space to go ahead and break this down. So, anyway, that's the ticket. Stand by once again. Okay, so here's the other ski, and I haven't started to do the diamond stoning on this edge of the ski, because like I said, this edge is real not beveled nearly as much as this side. So trying to straighten that out a little bit. And I did file this side some extra. I mean, you know, I did that the other day, but it's still not enough. So gonna work on this side a little more now. Again, this is a little B cam. It's only, you know, it's not that fantastic, but I'm gonna go ahead and like look closely on this side of the ski, and then I'll go ahead and do the diamond stone work and see if you see if you don't see a little bit of different color change coming down this side of the base edge into the plastic, which will mean that I've actually, you know, got that work down more. Okay, and then I'll be ready to scrape. Stand by. What the heck, let's go ahead and show a little bit of this. Maybe I'll just put it in fast motion. 100, a 100 stone. Now, since I filed these down on this side more than the other side, trying to straighten this out, I just went out and tested them and didn't stone them, but I don't know if you can hear that. That's gnarly. But again, this was just filed. It wasn't stoned yet. Ooh, that's gnarly. Yeah. Just even that's going to help the way they're working for me on the turning. Can you hear that? I don't know if we can hear that or not, but just for kicks here, I'll stick it on this side once. Look at that. Can't hear a damn thing. It just running on the PTEX. That edge is so like way more beveled than the other side. And you know, yeah, I could have asked him, hey, do this thing to ab flat, but I didn't ask him for that. So give it a structure. I'll take care of the rest. So we're just gonna try to get it more equal like the other side of the ski. So that the right turn and left turn on these skis will be more the same. They're like you're skiing one ski on these when you make a right, and you're skiing another ski when you make a left. That's gnarly. But that's good. That's gonna help a lot. Now, as you're doing this and you get into the PTEX, focus, focus, focus. Anyway, I can't see the dang thing. But what happens is the PTEX starts building up in the stone anyway. So when that happens, you stick it down in the fluid with the brush and brush it, you know, in the fluid, and release those plastic particles from the stone. Get the stone clean again. Maybe give her a wipe. You know, we don't want to keep working too much junk into there. Give her a wipe and start again. Getting better now, slowly. Still got a lot though. To get anywhere near where the other edge is. Which, like I showed you when I put the stone on the other edge, I really couldn't feel anything steel wise. That's gnarly. You're coming out a bit though now. Now, don't use paper towels when you're waxing. Use lint-free wiper, but we're just doing this. Regular paper towel's okay. So, I give it a bit more with the 100. And then I'm going to repeat this with the 200 for a while. Well, it's getting way better now. Okay. So anyway, then I'll repeat that with the 200 before we go to the next step, where we're going to actually start breaking down this super gnarly structure to make the ski more fun. And actually, it'd be just as fast in the wet snow. And it's fast now, but I mean, we need to, like I said, it's too grabby. So stand by. Okay, I'm ready to scrape, but I guess I should show you how I sharpen the scraper. It's a carbon steel scraper. And what I do is I got a pretty flat tuning table here, and I take a piece of plywood and lay it down. And I take a file like this. This is a Nicholson hardware file, you know, hardware store type file, Nicholson made in USA. Anyway, it's a large file. It's not Ruskey tuning file per se, but I take it and I lay that file down on the bench, and then I work it this way, okay? Scratch it this way. Whoops. Anyway, I hold on to the file with one hand. You know, it's not a... And I work it like this. Being careful to try to keep my pressure as flat as possible throughout the length of the scraper. Okay, but I gotta tell you, it's not gonna be perfect, okay? But there is a little bit of flex that you can do to this scraper, okay? So it's not gonna be perfect. But when you look as you scrape the ski and you pay attention to where you're seeing the color change, that is what you want to see. So, see if I can get this in a place where you can kind of be able to see. So, the moment of truth. It may seem scary. It's a brand new ground ski and all that. But, like, again, it's too deep. We got to take the peaks off. So this is what we're going to do. First, I'm just going to go nice and easy. I feel like I got a pretty good sharp edge right here, right now. This is working pretty good. I'm not pressing too hard at all right now. I'm seeing actually a pretty good affection over the ski, except on this side of the ski where I told you it was already messed up. Okay, this is first pass is a gentle pass. Okay, now let's see what we got. Okay. So here's what we got. Okay, see that fluff? That's all base material, okay? So we just broke down the top of that structure right there, okay? But I know that's not enough. So we're going to do it some more. I was pretty pleased with this side of the scraper. Now, oftentimes one side of the scraper will be way sharper. So if you're this way and then you flip it this way, you're going to get a whole nother action. Likewise on your other side. So, but right now I was pleased with it where I had it for the time being. So we're just going to go just slightly more aggressive this time. And I'm looking at where the reflection is changing on the ski. How flat or how much of the ski I'm seeing affected. And I'm looking for the reflection change. Trying to keep that pressure pretty equal. And once again, more material. Now I can see where the defect in this ski, where this whole side of the ski is not being hit. And like I told you, this ski is, anyway, I probably should have had it flat to absolute, ground to absolute flat, but that's fine. I'll work it out. I'll keep working this bevel if I need to. And eventually I'll get it to come around. Trying to keep a nice, even pressure. Scraper's pretty sharp, so I'm not having to press too hard. Okay, good. Feeling good about this. Getting a nice breakdown. So that was like 3 passes right now. And again, let's take a look. It's hard to see. I can't see, but anyway, there's all the plastic, okay? So that's all the doggone plastic. Okay. I think I'll go ahead and make 4 passes. This time I'll be a little more aggressive. And now you can tilt your scraper this way or you can hold it more vertical, okay? That's the other thing, how it bites. So I'm going to hold it more vertical this time and be a little bit more aggressive. Not a lot though, just being gentle at the same time. because this puppy be pretty sharp. Okay, stuff is sticky. There we go. See, we're getting more. We're getting the mores, okay? So, we've got a lot of structure in here. Let's go ahead and just for kicks, let's drag the nail. Yeah, I could still hear it and feel it. It's still, you know, so we could, no worries yet here. We're going to give it some more. Okay, still getting about that same amount of P-Tex of material coming off of there. Okay, so what was that? That was 4, 5? It was 4, I think. Let's go ahead and go for 5. I'm putting a little more pressure on this side now because that's where the other ski has got that same deal. So if I can make this more equivalent to this side, the ski will handle more the right way that I'm looking for it to be equivalent. Oh yeah, getting a lot there. A lot of material off this side of the ski this time. And that's because I'm putting a little more pressure to that side. And that's what I'm wanting to happen. So again, okay, P-Tex. Okay. So I don't want to go too hard on these. I'm going to flip the scraper this time. This side's a little bit smoother. Not quite so aggressive as the other side. That's how that happens when you file them. So anyway, as I wax this ski and scrape it and brush it each time, it should get better and better and better. But this initially, to break this down, that's what I needed to do here. So there it is. And then we're going to take, that broke the peaks down, the high spots. Now we're going to go ahead and just smooth this whole structure out a little bit. And we're going to use this stiff stainless steel brush. This puppy is just stiff as stiff. Now we're going to give it like, I don't know, 3 passes, whatever. It's got a pretty fat bristle. It's not really going to work down too deep into, you know, any of these structure grooves. But it's going to further mellow the structure. It's going to kind of just round things off just that little bit more. And that's what we want to do. So that was 1. We'll call this 2. I'm going to call this one 3, but I'm going to do it in a different way. This third one's going to be full-on long strokes. So we'll say we did a couple overlappers, and on the third we went long. Now, she's still looking pretty coarse, and she's still feeling pretty coarse. But I'm going to go ahead and hold off there for now. And we'll run the ski some more and see how she does. And then after that, well, I can always come back and do this some more. So there it is. I guess there's really not any need to show much more. But this is how you got to work on a ski that's heavily structured. Break it down a bit so it can stivot and pivot a little more. It's still going to carve like a demon. But anyway, breaking in a deep grind take a lot of work, and but actually taking a slightly more aggressive, deeper grind and then breaking it in this way, you end up with a ski that, I mean, it's freaking gonna haul booty. So, all right, I think enough said. If you got any questions, always feel free to comment in the comment box and ask what you like. The comment box, like everybody says, the comment box down below. Go ahead and comment there. And I never ask for subscribers, for people to subscribe or anything like that in my videos. But somewhere down there is a subscribe button. And, if you're into it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button to my channel. But I already got a lot of waxing and tuning videos on my channel. So but I got over 1,100 videos. So if you're on my channel and you want more information about waxing and tuning skis, there is a search bar on the YouTube channel itself. Not the one that's way up here at the top of but in the channel page itself is a little search bar down there. And if you put in waxing, tuning, scraping, words like that, then you're going to get access and be able to find my other videos that are about the skis. Okay, catching me a while ago. This is how we're going to break it down. Ciao. Wait a minute here. I did say ciao, but there is something else that really helps in this breakdown that I probably should show you. Okay, so you can use a coarser fiber pad. This is the maroon in color. And this can help a lot too in mellowing that structure. You're gonna lay it down on the ski. Probably seen me do this before. You're gonna take a file, one that's square on the edges, that's not rounded or anything else. You're gonna lay that on top of the fiber pad. You're gonna work it. You're gonna scrub it. Now you'd be surprised how long you could scrub this to really mellow out those peaks. I mean, you could probably scrub this thing for a pretty long time. And you'll see the reflection change as you scrub it. But although, yeah, is it abrasive? Yeah, but it's very mellow abrasive. And as whatever it's abrading off drops down into the low spots and into the structure. So when you're done with this buffing, to further mellow that structure out, you're going to brush it out again. And in which case you want to use a really fine brush. So I would use the brass. So anyway, so like I say, you could do this a lot more if you want. If you're really anal, you could just go tip to tail. Or maybe, you could brush it back and forth each way. And maybe you could make your final passes like this, tip to tail. Maybe make 3 or 4 passes just tip to tail. But you're basically scrubbing down that structure. And then once you're done doing that, take a brass brush, which is your really super fine bristle. And maybe you'll see the reflection on the ski change now that I just did that. Let's see. I don't know. It's not that high end of a camera I'm using right now, but sometimes I'm surprised that when I produce the video, if I'm looking closely and I got it full screen HD, that I actually can see those reflection changes. So what we're doing is microscopically we put a little bit of, microscopic amount of material down into the little grooves. We're just going to pull all that out with this brass brush. So there it is, okay? So after you do all this, you do definitely want to wax the crap out of the ski again. And these have already been through the hot box a few times and waxed a couple times both. So even though I took quite a bit of peaky material off of there, I took a lot of let's go ahead and look. I took a lot of base material off. There's still some wax in this base because seriously, I mean, I waxed the crap out of it. So this is what we ended up with off the pair. So And there's more on the floor you're not going to see, but so that's what we took off just to take the peaks down. So anyway, there you go. It's kind of nice to work on a ski too if it's already got some wax impregnated down into it, because as you're scraping those mils of, you know, minute amounts of material, it helps to lubricate it as you're doing this work by having it already waxed in. So, and so the further, you know, base preparation of the ski, remember, you wax it, you cool it. You wax it, you cool it. You cool it at least 4 hours or overnight. You wax it, you cool it, you wax it, you cool it. When the ski cools, the wax is expelled, or, you know, all the material expands, the wax goes in, and then when it cools, the wax gets pushed out. Well, it doesn't just get pushed back out the top, okay, or the base, you know, the top right now, the ski's up. It doesn't just get pushed out this way. It also gets pushed down in, because it's like a sponge. It's squeezing. And when the ski cools, it squeezes back together, and the wax goes back out. Well, it doesn't just go back out this way, it goes back in too. That's why, you know, hotboxing your ski 6 or 7 times, and that cooling and heating, that's what really pushes that wax down deep, deep in as far as it can go into the material, however quality it is. And if you do that enough times, you will notice an improvement in your ski's glide. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. I'm getting off track again, but okay, we'll catch you a while ago. Like I say, we're not going to go overboard on these. I did what I did. I'm going to re-wax them up. I'm going to go ski them again. And if I'm not happy, I can do this some more, and I can work on this bevel some more on this side of the skis so to make them ski more even. So, all right, it's a labor of love. Catching me a while ago, breaking in an aggressive stone grind to get it to run better and funner. Catching me a while ago.